Hey guys, today with Nem short video on no contact, as I too often feel that understanding has not arrived with many who hear about it and even know my interpretation of it. So let's get right to it. Yes, no contact means you do not contact your ex in any way. But before you sit in front of your cell phone and check again and again when she is on and tempt you again and again, rule number 1 of no contact, the whole sense behind it, is that you put her out of your mind for the time of the separation. No more thoughts of her, no more interpretations of her actions, no more memories that only serve to show you how great she was and how much you did wrong. No stalking on social media, and stalking is also stalking if she can't see that. You waste your time and ride you further and further into the shit. Not socially or in front of her, but for you and your own thought patterns. You should not forget her or cut her out of your life. Even if you try to never think about her, it won't be possible, but the miss rate in you still thinking about her day after day is better than you actively doing that. If you try to fight it and control your thoughts about her, you might only waste a quarter of the time that you would normally spend lying sadly on the couch in a fetal position listening to some nagging, pissed-off song about how everything sucks and how great love is. Does that really make you attractive and happy? Yes, maybe you just want to feel that way. Maybe you even think that it has to be that way or you owe it to her, because she was so great. Then she should be great somewhere else. You are not dependent on her being so with you, and the last impression you have of her was not the way you see her through your nostalgic glasses of infinite love. Look at yourselves now, even if you are reasonably back in life, and tell yourselves everything is okay. Is everything is okay your goal? Doesn't that mean that you would suffer an emotional collapse if she suddenly stood in front of you? You could also be doing great, and that's up to you. The moment when everything is okay is usually the moment when you still think of her a few times a day and always feel a little pulled down. Yes, at first this is normal, but the closer you are to her, the more this becomes your daily routine, and the less you can distinguish how you are doing and how you could be doing without this crap. And since you have hopefully and fortunately decided on no contact, it is not your primary duty to not check in with her. And even working on you really serves two purposes: to restore happiness and fulfillment to your life and to distract you from her. You can do that with this passive effect, when you hardly have time to look at your phone and focus on yourself. Only take breaks when you really need them, and don't sit on the couch staring holes in the wall. But you can also do this actively when thoughts about her come to your mind or something reminds you of her. You have the choice each time to choose to dig deeper and engage with these thoughts, or to actively push them away from you. That may not sound so easy, and maybe it is also not done by the missing overview, if I say push them away from you. Then pay a little attention yourself. Every thought of hers that you recognize as such per day, you can also fight it, and that buys you time. Had it just with someone about that one has for this special techniques to overcome such fears or strong feelings. Although we had it about fear of loss and the subsequent impulse to want to write the ex again, but you can take it further. For example, every time I thought about her, I did push-ups until I couldn't do anything anymore. Just an activity that is appropriate to the strength of your feelings and that is able to distract you from the whole thing at that moment. During which you can't sink into your grief at all, because you have to or can think of something else. A slap in the face, smelling salts, eating a pack of center shocks, I don't know, but it doesn't have to be so extreme. For many of you it can also be a walk in nature without your cell phone. The main thing is to get used to the fact that you can keep these moments under control. It is simply a matter of habit. This will naturally make it less and less as you keep taking control. That's why I think push-ups and walking are so good, by the way, because you're doing something for yourself at the same time. After all, you can't take away one habit by replacing it with punches to your own face. Although punching yourself in the face will do you better than hanging on to your ex for the long term, who is doing nothing to make you feel better. The only thing she could do would be to come back, but as long as you hang out like this, even if she wanted to, she would have no reason to. Understanding that there is more to the no contact than just an ex-back tactic may not be something you need from the start to make it work for you. But if you stubbornly follow it and think after 6 months, this doesn't work at all, I haven't contacted her and she doesn't come back, then you are still too attached to her and you haven't necessarily done everything in your power to keep her away from you. If they get in touch, that's different. That's why breadcrumbing is so dangerous. If you couldn't gauge if they were really interested and they were always throwing you just enough crumbs of their attention to keep you hoping and worrying about their crap. This understanding of their interest towards you is a big part you need to learn. Something that will come across in any future relationship, and if you understand how this dynamic has to work in a good relationship, that it has to be there on a mutual level in order to grow, then you can handle this situation. If you don't quite understand this yet, there are enough videos on the channel about this topic. You don't have to watch them all, but especially the dynamics between man and woman and the nice guy problem will help. Take care of yourselves, that's what I say in every video. You are the most important person in your life and no one completes you. After a breakup, when you sink into such a hole, you see only what you have built up the last years and how dependent you really were. The hole is to be filled with yourself and no one else. This is the mistake that many exes make, thinking that a new partner would increase their chances of happiness, when they should be working on themselves. Don't worry, if your problems were too big, she will have them again later. Focus on yourself and always try to see the big picture instead of your little cosmos in which you feel trapped and only react instead of being able to act yourself. Staying in here can't be the goal for anyone. Their happiness is equated with what the average of your environment feels as happiness, and there is always more. Take care, and until the next video.